And I think what happened for me was I had a taste of being my true, authentic self in Italy. I didn't give a shit what anybody thought. I didn't know anybody out there. Like, there's nobody to judge me. There's nobody, paying attention to what I'm doing or what I'm saying. I was so free for the first time in a long time. I was free. I didn't have work stresses, like, stressing me out there. I didn't have emails coming out of my what, like I was so free. I had a taste of pure, genuine happiness. And it's like my entire soul was like shook to the core because I didn't know that I could feel that happy because I had myself convinced that I was happy back home, but I wasn't. Welcome to Rise with Katie Marie. Think of this podcast like sitting down with a friend where we talk about healing, self-discovery, and stepping into the highest version of yourself. I'm Katie, your host and friend on this journey. Together, we'll talk about all the messy and beautiful parts of life, from heartbreak to healing, self-doubt to self-love, and everything in between. If you're looking for a cozy space to feel seen, heard, and inspired, you're in the right place. So, grab a cup of coffee, take a deep breath, and let's rise together. We are high tech today, sort of. I'm still filming with my iPhone, but we have studio lights happening in here. I have mood lighting behind me. I'm in my new merch. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can see I have my Self-Love Club sweater on. And I'm very cozy and comfy right now, and we're loving it. We're cozy vibes. I have my bubbly with me, and not the fun kind of bubbly, the sparkling water bubbly. I'm obsessed, addicted to bubblies. Sparkling water is the only way I drink water, honestly. But we're feeling good. We got our bubbly in a totally new room, new setup, new area over here. And you know what? We look so professional right now. Like, I keep looking at myself in the camera here because it's like, I look like I'm a professional podcast, finally. And nobody needs to know that I'm recording with my phone because I forgot to bring the wire home for my camera that I needed. And yeah, I don't have that. We are, just on iPhone today. But you know what? I will say, the iPhone 16 video is looking pretty damn good right now. Anywho, welcome back to the show. Today I have a big story to tell you guys, and a lot of you guys want to know what my experience was with it. So I figured, you know what? Now is the time. We're talking about it. I'm going to tell you all about the time that I went to Italy and how it completely changed the trajectory of my entire life. And unfortunately, I wasn't moving there. I wish. Maybe one day. Anywho, grab yourself a drink, get cozy, get comfortable. I am cozy in my sweater. I live in the sweater since I've ordered it. Oh my God, I don't take it off. I love it. I have multiple of it though. Like, it's not like I'm wearing the same sweater every day. We literally have been living in the merch since they've arrived. If you do want to grab one, they're on my bykatiemarie.ca website. Anywho, let's get into the story time. So a lot of you probably saw that I went on a big Italy trip last year. You've probably seen some of my posts about it. And if you were following me back then, all my stories and everything, I haven't posted like too many pictures from it, honestly, because I'm so overwhelmed with the amount of pictures and videos that I took in Italy that I've hit like a complete wall of like decision paralysis, and I just never ended up posting anything from it. And I have pictures like at the Trevi Fountain, I have pictures like all over, and like I haven't done nothing with them because when you have to go through pictures every single day for a career, and that's literally all you do is dig through pictures and thousands of them and pick out the good photos. When it comes to editing and doing your own, you want no part of it. No part of it. That passion's been gone for a long time of editing my own photos and going through them because it's a job now, and I just, it's not fun for me anymore. So, but I did a big trip to Italy last year, and I actually went to my first women's retreat out there. And if you are new here and you don't know, I actually host women's retreats now. We have one coming up in a couple weeks, actually, we're getting ready for. And we did one last year, and they're amazing, incredible. Honestly, retreats have changed my life, and they've changed other people's lives, and they're just so incredible. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but I just kind of want to tell you the backstory before I went to Italy, what happened in Italy, and then what happened when I came home, because it literally changed the trajectory of my entire life. I think it put a lot of things into perspective for me. And if you are in a similar situation, you might be able to relate to the story in a different way, in a different scenario, a different lifetime. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. So get cozy, get comfy, and we're going to dive into it. So one thing about me, I love Europe. Like I'm obsessed with Europe. Anything European, it's my dream to live there one day, whether it's a vacation home or my own home or just going there like 3, 4 times a year. One day I will be planting some roots in Europe some way, some form, somehow. I'm putting that out into the universe. But yeah, Europe has always been my happy place. I love it. I love anything European. I just like redid a whole room at my studio with like a lemon themed floral installation because I love Italy and lemons and I just love Europe. Okay. Like it's my happy places where I go to just feel everything and just become alive. And I feel like I've lived there in a past life. And whenever I go there, I just feel like I'm home. So, I love Europe and I was really missing it. It was years since I've been there and I really wanted to go to Europe. And then one of my photographer friends, her name is Brina, she posted that she had 2 spots left for Italy and it was like a month out. She had been posting this retreat for like a solid year at that point, and I was like, oh no, like that's far and that's a lot of money and a lot of traveling, yada yada. I just kind of put it off. And then I saw her post that she's like, we have 2 spots left, a couple weeks away. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's a slow week for me that week. It lined up really well. I think I only had to like move one session to make it work. And I was like, let's just do it. I was like, the more I overthink it, the less I'm going to do it. I just need to bite the bullet. I need to sign up and go and just do it. I just needed like a change of environment. I really just needed to get away and get out of Canada and get into like a culture shock and go to my happy place because Europe is literally my happy place. And yeah, I just wanted to just get away. And I messaged my friend and I was like, what do you think about doing a boudoir retreat in Italy with me in like 4 weeks? And she's like, oh, what? Are you all right there, Katie? Are you okay? And I'm like, well, no, I just need to get away. Yeah, I put the bug in her ear and sure enough, she was down and we booked it on a complete whim and we were zero prepared for anything. We had to like book the whole trip last minute and find hotels and flights. We got like royally screwed for flights. They were so expensive because we waited till last minute. We did get some good deals on Airbnbs though. Waiting for like last minute Airbnbs, that worked out pretty cool. But yeah, we got totally destroyed with the flights. Anywho, we threw together an itinerary. I was like, if we're going to go to Italy, we got to go out and see all the other places. I had never been to Italy at that point either. I've been other places in Europe, but never Italy. And I was like, we got to go to Rome. We got to see like the big things. Like, let's stay a little extra, do some traveling, do some things. And we did. And that's kind of how we started out the trip. So we did our own little portion of it, saw Rome and yada yada. I won't get into like everything we went to, but yeah, we did our own little vacation. And of course, the minute my feet touched ground in Europe, I'm a ball of sunshine and rainbows and everything good in the world. Had a gelato in hand and I had my little European outfits on. I was walking around in my real Italian linen and I was just feeling on top of the world. Like I really, truly I love Europe so freaking much. You guys have no idea. Yeah, so we started the first bit of the trip just doing our own thing. Now, I guess I'll go on a little tangent here for a second. At this point, this was my first ever boudoir shoot, and that is coming from a professional boudoir photographer. I have been doing boudoir now for a solid 5-6 years professionally as a photographer and never once did my own boudoir photo shoot. It partially was because I couldn't find like a photographer that I really liked their style, or I don't know, like I just kept telling myself like, oh, I'll just like self-timer it or I'll take my own photos. Like I said earlier, like when you do this for a living, when it comes to taking your own photos, like no. It's like you do it so much for work that when it comes to actually doing it for yourself anymore, like no. So I kept telling myself like, oh, I'll take them of myself, or like I'll do it one day, or I'll, whatever, right? And when I saw that Brina had a couple spots left for her retreat, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. I've never done a boudoir shoot, so now is the time. Why not? And my friend also, she was a little hesitant about that as well, but I kind of said like, girl, you got to do this. Like it's something that you're going to remember always. And I know from being a boudoir photographer, like the experience that people have when they see their photos, and you're going to love it, right? Like it's just going to be a magical thing. And so she was excited but nervous. And yeah, so at this point, here I am in Italy going on this retreat, and I had never done my own boudoir shoot as a professional boudoir photographer, and I was super nervous. I was so nervous, and which I was kind of shocked about, honestly, because as a photographer, you would think I would know what to expect, right? Like I do this every single day. I see how my clients love their photos. I see how everything turns out amazing every single time. But there was something in me that I was like, I don't know, like, am I gonna like my photos? Like I'm gonna look like crap. I don't know. And then I was not at a weight that I felt super comfortable at either. I was maybe 20 pounds heavier than what I am now. So yeah, I had a little extra weight on me. I wasn't feeling like the most confident. I don't even think, was I working out? I think I was doing Pilates a little bit back then. But yeah, I wasn't really like in a healthy like headspace back then. Like I was just kind of, I don't know, just going through the motions, right? So I wasn't in a good body image place at the time when I booked it in. But being a boudoir photographer, I know that you got to just do it. You can wait forever and you're never going to fully feel ready to do something like this. You have to just jump into it. And I know that because I tell my clients that all the time, right? And I just kind of told myself, listen, we're not at the weight we want to be right now, and that's okay. Doesn't matter. They're going to be beautiful and we're going to learn to love ourselves. And that is the whole point of doing a boudoir shoot, is to learn to love yourself. And I just kind of pushed past that insecurity, and it is what it is. I didn't try to lose weight, didn't try to like go crazy starvation mode before we got there. Like, no, I was eating gelato every day. I was living my best life with the Italian food. I was eating pasta every day. Oh my God, I could literally, like, my mouth is salivating thinking about the pasta out there again. It was so good. But yeah, I was eating good food every day. Like, I didn't give a shit. I was like, you know what, whatever. Like, this is who I am. I don't care. And I'm here to do the shoot, and it is what it is. So anywho, fast forward, we do a little bit of the trip ourselves, and then we finally get to the day where we have to go to the villa to meet all the girlies for the retreat. And I remember walking in and just feeling so at home and at peace. Now, I had met Brina actually at a work trip in Vegas the year prior or 2 years prior. And that's actually what led me to booking this, was like just from talking to her, and had this conversation at the work event, and there was something about her spirit that I just really felt called to and like drawn to, and I really loved who she was as a person. So I was super excited to be able to see her again, because I just loved her so much, and I knew she would be a great vibe. And her I guess we call her assistant, or like the model that she always shoots all the time, and now she works for her, but her name's Katie also, and she is like, I just adore her. She's awesome too. So I already knew two of them there, which kind of helped a little bit because I kind of knew what I was walking into, but I didn't know any of the other girls. Like, they were all complete strangers. Like, not a freaking clue who Brina actually lives on the other side of Canada. Like, they're all from BC area, and like Edmonton and Alberta, and yeah. Like, all the girls that were at the retreat, they were all from out that way, like out west. Me and my friend were actually the only ones from this area, like in Ontario. So I didn't know anybody, like complete randoms. And sorry, girls, like you're not randoms anymore, but you were back then. But yeah, complete randoms. And yeah, I just walked in, just, going with the flow. Didn't care. I'm like, okay, we're here. We're going to make the most of it, and let's do this. So it was so warm and welcoming when I first got there. They offered to like carry our bags up the stairs because we had like a massive stairwell to get to our room. And like, the Italian like villas, like there's a lot of freaking stairs. So they're helping us like carry up our bags. Everybody's so friendly and welcoming. And I was like, oh my God, like this is going to be a great week. Like I can feel it. Like the minute you walk into a retreat, you can just feel that energy. And that's why when it comes to my retreats, I'm very, very big on making sure that the minute you walk in, you feel at home, because it'll set the tone for you the entire week. And well, for us, a weekend, but back then it was a week. And just the way you just feel so at peace automatically is unmatched, and you're so nervous working yourself up to going. And I had a friend with me, like for all the girls that came to Italy solo, like they flew out there on their own, literally like did the entire thing on their own, showed up solo, didn't know anybody. Like that is scary. Like at least I had my friend with me for like a little moral support while traveling. But a lot of these women, they just showed up solo on their own, ready to go. And everybody was so welcoming and so friendly. So the minute you get there, you feel right at home. And we had so many things we did out there, so many different like excursions. We had a boat day, which, oh my God, I was so seasick that day. That was the day of my boudoir shoot, and I was not okay that day. That was a rough day for me. Got one of my favorite pictures ever that day on the boat, but other than that, I was literally dying. But yeah, no, we did so many cool things. We did like little cooking classes, everything, whatever, yada yada, a bunch of things. And then my photo shoot portion was on Oh my goodness. I want to say it was like halfway through. I think it was on like the Wednesday or something. And I had worked myself up so hard for the first couple days, and I would see all the other girls getting their photos taken because the way they did it, we had like two of us go per day. And so I had already like kind of seen like a couple other girls doing their shoots. And again, I do this for a living, so like I know what a boudoir shoot entails. Like it's not like it was like a whoa, you know, it was, I knew what to expect, but I was seeing them and they were just so confident in killing it. And I'm just like, I don't really feel that confident right now. Like I don't know how the hell this is going to turn out, but we're going to try. And yeah, then sure enough, the day came for my shoot, and I had to be up at like 4 a.m. And if you know me, that was rough. That was why I was so sick on the boat, because my body's like, bitch, we don't ever wake up this early. Like, what the hell are you doing to me? That was a tough wake up call that day. But anywho, I got my little hair and makeup done. I had all my outfits. I went super extra for that one too. I brought like a big fluffy robe, and yeah, I just felt like, I was like, if I'm in Italy, I'm just gonna go extra for this. And I did. And I did the photo shoot and I felt great. I was like, okay, and the other thing too, that actually the only part that I didn't like about that experience was the outfits that I brought. Because we booked the trip so last minute, I did not have time to shop for outfits. I did go through my closet at the studio, because obviously if you follow me, you know I have like literally 500 pieces of lingerie in my work closet at the studio. And I did dive through that, but I didn't want to wear things that I photograph all the time. Like those are like special pieces for like my clients, and I wanted to wear something a little bit different where it felt like it was unique to me, because I've seen those outfits so many times on other people that I'm like, don't want to wear the same thing that I constantly take photos of. I want to feel different. The only option I had available last minute was Victoria's Secret, because that's really the only place you can go in person, or La Senza, really. Like that's it. I didn't have time to order anything online or nothing. Go to La Senza. I'm like last minute trying things on. I'm like throwing together, like, I don't even know. I wore this like corset thing, and I did bring my Honey Burdette set, but it didn't fit properly. So I had to like do like the extender and everything. So basically, long story short, where I'm going with this, I did not love my outfits that I brought. And that taught me the importance of trying on outfits prior and making sure that when you are doing a boudoir shoot, you pick ones that you love, which is why I never rush my clients. I'm like, no, try on as many outfits as you need to before we start the shoot, so you 100% feel comfortable in what you're wearing. But that was the only thing that I just didn't love. I just didn't love my outfits. And the photos ended up turning out beautiful. And like, I actually, as I'm talking to you guys right now, I have a giant, like I'm in my bedroom right now because I have this little corner with this chair that I've been recording on because I needed a quiet space. And like, just, I don't know, I had this random chair and I was like, we're just going to sit up here, and I have my like microphone attached to my like dresser drawer right now. But anyways, I'm in my bedroom and I'm looking at my big metal print on the wall. It's huge. It's like a 20 by 30 or something. Like, it's huge. And it's literally like me on the beach on the Sicilian waters, because we were in Sicily, and it's the sunrise. And I've never in my life been awake for sunrise, maybe once or twice in my life. And here I am like laying there, and it's like, it's a booty shot, it's from behind. Like, it's like I'm laying in the sand, like leaning on my arm, and then my legs are out, and it's like behind. Like I'm on the beach, but like it's mainly like scenery and stuff around me. It's so beautiful. And I'm looking at that, like as I'm talking to you guys, I keep like glancing up at it to like remind me of like how I felt in that moment. And it was really cool. But yeah, I did the shoot, and other than not loving my outfits, and realizing the importance of feeling like yourself in the outfits. Because again, remember I said I went a little extra for my outfits, and I wore things that I wouldn't normally wear because I felt like I had to go like full out because I was in Italy and I had to be like extra and dramatic. And I wish I didn't do that. I wish I just stuck to my guns and like wore the outfits from my client closet that I know I love, or brought like a set of Calvins with me, or like something like simple, because I'm just very like, I like neutral colors. I like I'm very like, I'm a basic beige bitch. Like, I'm not even gonna beat around the bush right now. I am. And it is what it is. Yeah. Like, I wish I kind of just stuck to things that I know I love, and things that I know would photograph well. And that was my one thing that I regret. But other than that, the photos are so beautiful. I have an album with so many beautiful photos, and I love it so much. Yeah, that was a really cool experience. Throughout the week, she would show us our photos when they were ready. And when I saw my photos, I realized in that moment, this was my wake up call. And this is going to shock a lot of you. Like, you guys are going to hear this and you're going to be like, this is actually really shocking. This is going to shock a lot of you. I actually hated my photos at first. Hated. Not because she was a bad photographer at all. They were beautiful. They were beautiful photos. Oh my God, they were beautiful. I hated me in them. And not from a place of completely hating the way I look. Like in most photos, yes, like my insecurities, I was like super insecure looking at certain things, but I realized in that moment how little self-love I actually had for myself. I guess I wouldn't say hate. I didn't hate them. Like it was just, I think I'm so used to doing these shoots and having my clients have these like crazy moments where they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that's me. And like they're smiling, laughing and crying. And like, I think I'm just so used to having that experience that I thought I would just automatically be like that. And that moment showed me how much work I had to do, and not in a like losing weight mode, I truly don't love who I am and I'm a shell of myself, and I didn't feel like myself in many ways. And outfits aside, there's so much else going on behind the scenes, and that's what I'm going to get into in a second. So again, I know that might shock a lot of you, and the photos are absolutely stunning, gorgeous, and like you guys to look at them would never be like, oh my God, they're ugly. Never in a million years. I think they're beautiful. And now I actually look at them with a lot of love because I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of inner work. But when I first saw them, it was like a shell shock moment of like, I hate who I'm looking at in these photos right now. And I did not expect to react like that. But yeah, that's the thing that can happen when you do boudoir shoots. And if anything, it kind of highlights like where you're struggling, how low your self-worth is, and how low you can actually feel about yourself and hate the person looking back at you. And the reason I hated the person looking back at me was because I was not being me back home. And I think I subconsciously tucked that away for a very long time without realizing that, yeah, that I wasn't being myself. So anywho, there were a lot of photos I really loved. I know I say here and I say like, I hated that. And not that I hated them. Okay. Let's actually rephrase that. I loved the photos. I just didn't like me in them. I still ended up picking out like 200 photos that I loved. She showed us like 500, I think. I don't know, a crazy amount. Brina's like me. She likes to shoot a lot. So she showed us a lot of photos, and, and I still narrowed it down to like 200. So like, I loved a lot of them, but there were some of them that I was just like, oh my God, like I tore myself apart. I tore myself apart. And yeah, as someone who does this for a living, I didn't think I'd be that hard on myself, but it showed me that I'm really good at helping other people heal, and I'm really good at helping other people see their beauty, but I can't see my own. It's kind of like when you give advice to somebody, but you can't take your own advice. That's how it felt in that moment for me, for sure. And yeah, I went home with a big realization after that. So anywho, fast forward, we go through the rest of the retreat. Most amazing week of my life, honestly. Like these girls, when I tell you these girls have become soul sisters to me, I'm not kidding. Actually, I'm meeting up with one of them in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. She lives in Alberta and we're meeting in Florida. And we're going to a rock concert together. So I will be with her in Daytona in a couple weeks. And that's the kind of friendship that you make at a retreat. Like you're so raw and vulnerable with these people, and you're opening up your heart, and you're sharing your heart with people. And the way, like I'm getting full body chills just thinking about it, like the way that brings people together because everybody's guards are down at a retreat is absolutely incredible. And yes, I have made a lifelong friend, and I'm going to see her in a couple weeks. And I never wouldn't even knew she existed if I didn't go on this retreat. And like, you never know who's waiting for you at one of these things. You could be walking into the soul friendship that you didn't know you needed, you know? So, and then actually one of the other girls going with us to Daytona is a good friend of mine who also went on one of Brina's retreats and met the girl that I met on the other retreat. So this one girl went on 2 retreats. She went to Italy and she went to, where'd they go? Bali. And then my friend went to Bali, and then so did the other girl, and then they met. So now all 3 of us are friends, like intertwined from a retreat, from 2 retreats. So it's so cool because it's like, you literally, like you are meeting your soul family when you go to a retreat, and that is unmatched. So we finish off the week, amazing, incredible week. And then me and my friend that I went to Italy with, we did our own little excursion fun afterwards. And we stayed for a couple extra days. And my friend, actually, we ended up finding her family members out there. So her extended family was, just outside of where we were staying. And we actually had the driver. So we had a shuttle driver the whole time at the retreat. His name was Giuseppe. We loved him. He was so funny. And he drove us around to all our excursions during the retreat. And like at the end of it, I kind of asked him, I'm like, Giuseppe, like, how much would you charge like to take us to Agrigento? And he's like, oh, Agrigento, okay. And then like it was a pretty long drive. Like it took us all afternoon together. Like you got to go from one side, we were in Taormina, all the way up to Agrigento, which is a little more north of Sicily. Anyways, he's like, yeah, but like I'll do it. Like, sure, let's go. So we get Giuseppe to drive us to go find her family. And this guy who like barely speaks English, he was like super broken English. He's like going around this little town, like asking everybody like for my friend's like grandma's name or whatever, right? Like, so I forget her name, but he's like, do you know blah, blah, blah. And then like the town is so small and little that like everybody knows each other. So we were able to locate her family with no information, no address, no nothing, just by saying like, this is her name. This is her son's name. Do you know these people? And then like one lady like she hops in the car with us. Like, this is what I mean. We see how excited I'm getting talking about Europe. Like everybody out there is just so friendly, amazing. They're just the most amazing people to ever walk this earth. Anyways, this random lady like hops in our car. Giuseppe's like, we need to find this person. Lady gets in our car. We're driving around. We're going all these things. We find her grandma, go see all her family members. It was so magical, so amazing. The lady like took us right up to the house. She's like, yeah, she lives up here. Go knock on this door. So it was like a scene out of a movie. Like it was just so much fun. And like that's how we kind of ended the trip, was going on that adventure. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I will never forget this moment for the rest of my life. So we were on our way back from Agrigento to go to the Catania airport to fly home. Giuseppe was driving us back after taking us on our adventure to go find my friend's family. And we had a pretty long drive back. Like it was like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours to get there. Maybe even 4. It might have been a little longer. I don't know, whatever. We had a long drive. And I was so happy. The whole time I was in Italy, between the retreat and just doing our own little adventures, like I felt happiness that I haven't felt in a really, really long time. And when I say happiness, I mean like pure, like soulful joy. Like imagine the happiest you've ever felt in your life and multiply that by 10 billion. Like that's how I felt those 2 weeks out in Italy. Before anybody tells me like, oh yeah, Katie, whenever you go on a vacation, of course you're gonna be sad to leave, and like everybody wants to stay in Europe, and like, okay, yeah, sure. But that year I traveled quite a bit. So a lot of events. I did a lot of traveling in America that year. Went to Tennessee. We did a lot of different things that year, and I didn't feel the same like sadness leaving those kind of places. I go to an all-inclusive. I don't feel sad to leave. I'm like, oh, I'm excited to go home. Like I'm good. I'm all-inclusive out. When I go to Europe, I feel this like pain in my heart. I'm like, I can't leave. I don't want to leave. Like this is home. This is happiness for me. And I remember being in the car and like looking out the window, and I start bawling, and my friend's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you okay? Like what's going on? And I looked at her and I said, do you ever realize when you're living in a moment, knowing that one day this is just going to be a memory, and this happiness that you feel in that moment is literally just going to be a memory? And like she started getting emotional, and we both got really emotional. And I just said like, I don't want to lose this happiness, but I know once I go back home, that's gone. And I think that's what was really hitting me. I love Europe, of course. I want to be out there all the time because it's awesome. But the deeper issue behind all of that was I was so upset and traumatized to come home, because that trip made me realize how miserable I actually was back home. But I had myself convinced that I had the perfect life, or that I had everything that I wanted. I had what I thought was a healthy relationship. I had a good friend group. I think my business was doing amazing. Like everything on paper was everything I've ever wanted. And yet the thought of leaving Europe to go back home sent me into like a panic attack. Like I don't even get panic attacks anymore. And I was like in a pure like panic anxiety attack to go home, because I realized on that drive home from Agrigento to the airport, on that car ride, that I was living a complete lie back home. I was not happy. I had myself convinced that I was happy, but I wasn't happy, because I was being a shell of myself for a very long time. So Um, Nothing was even happening back home. Like it wasn't like I was in like an argument with my boyfriend at the time or anything like that. Like things were actually very great with him and I. And yeah, I was just so sad to go home. And it's like, I remember thinking in the airport too, and I'm like, shouldn't I be excited to go home? Like, shouldn't I be excited to go see my person that I haven't seen in 2 weeks? Like, shouldn't I like be excited? You know, like when I go to all inclusives, I'm happy to come home. Like, why am I not like having that same moment of like, I can't wait to get home? And I think what happened for me was I had a taste of being my true, authentic self in Italy. I didn't give a shit what anybody thought. I dressed so cute every day. I had my cute little European outfits on, and I was eating good food, and I was just wandering. I was outside. I was just, oh my God, I was on top of the world. I was on top of the world. And I was just being me. I didn't care. I didn't know anybody out there. Like, there's nobody to judge me. There's nobody, paying attention to what I'm doing or what I'm saying. I was so free for the first time in a long time. I was free. I didn't have work stresses, like, stressing me out there. I didn't have emails coming out of my, what. Like, I was so free. And I had a taste of genuine happiness. And it's like my entire soul was like shook to the core because I didn't know that I could feel that happy because I had myself convinced that I was happy back home, but I wasn't. So yeah, things got really weird when I got back home, or like I got weird, I guess. But it was like my subconscious was like angry at everybody. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be around anybody here. I didn't want to do anything that like I normally would love doing or like see anybody that I normally love. It's like, if it's not Europe, I don't want it. Like, I don't want it because like to me, like that happiness, I had connected that to Europe. And I was so miserable. I was so miserable when I got home, and I went into a really weird depression. Very, very weird. It lasted for a couple weeks. And I remember like even going into work, and my assistant at the time was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, are you okay? Like, why are you so miserable? And I'm just like, I don't want to be here. And I don't mean that in like suicidal way. I mean, in like I don't want to be in Ontario right now. Like, I do not want to be here. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I've never had a trip affect me that much before where like the sadness lingered that long. Because of course, we all feel it when we go on a fun trip, especially to Europe. You come home and you're like, I'm so sad to be home. I don't want to be home. I wish I was back eating all the Italian pasta. And like, that'll last for like a day or two. And then, okay, like whatever, you're back into your routine. No, this lasted for like a month for me. Like, it was like a long thing. Like, it was like not good for a very long time in my head. Like, it was not good. And oh man, like I avoided the truth that I knew that I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy in my relationship. I wasn't happy in my life. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating healthy. I wasn't doing anything. Like, I was not happy in a lot of ways. And that stemmed from having to dim my light way too much. So yeah, shortly after that trip to Italy, my relationship ended not too long after. I want to say maybe a month later or just over a month, which teleported me into a massive, massive healing journey, which is why I'm here today doing this podcast with you, because my entire existence and my soul has been shaken to the core. And I made it out on the other side. And I'm very proud and thankful for that. But yeah, that trip changed the trajectory of my life for many reasons. One, because of the way I saw myself in those boudoir photos. I realized I hated who I had become. And that ties back to the whole having to dim my light. I was made to feel like I was too much for certain people in my world, and told that I have to tone myself down to fit in. I was being who these people wanted me to be, and it wasn't true to me. And I was miserable, I was fucking miserable, because I had to dim my light and I had to tone myself down so much that I was not Katie. I was not Katie. I was not bubbly, happy, excited, full of life, normal Katie that I am. I was a shell of myself. And I felt like in order to have a happy, healthy relationship, that's what I needed to do. Because me being me is too much. No one's going to put up with me if I'm me. Yeah, I had toned myself down to fit in with a group that was never meant for me. And never again will I ever do that? So yeah, the relationship ended. A lot of big shifts happened in my life. I started going to therapy. I went on a massive healing journey. I started, taking care of myself again. I started doing my workouts. I started doing my whole healing journey, all that. And that's how I've gotten myself back to this place. It's been about a year almost. Wow. Almost a year. And yeah, I'm in a very good place right now. Very, very, very thankful. It's one of those things where had it not happened the way that it did, I wouldn't be here in this version of myself right now. And that Italy trip really did it for me. And one thing that really stuck with me when I was in Italy was how they value slow living. And I actually, if you're watching me on video right now, I have a tattoo that I got in Italy. It says La Dolce Vita. And that means like the soft life, the simple life, the sweet life. And how they explain it out in Italy is like we value family, connection, friends, food, being present in the moment. We're not in a rush to get anywhere. We just appreciate where we're at and we just take things in and we're just present, and they're so happy out there. Everybody is so happy and loving. And that's why I got that tattoo, because I was like, I want like a forever memory to remind myself, like when I get caught up in the hustle and bustle of being a business owner and back to my normal shit when I come home, like I got to remind myself, like, no, like tap back into that energy that you felt in Italy. Tap back into that happiness, because I can get there on my own. I don't have to go all the way to Europe to get there. I can get there on my own. And that's kind of what led me to really diving deep into connecting with my feminine energy, because when I connected to my feminine energy, I was able to tap back into that slow energy, slow living, and just being present in the moment and feeling things deeply and allowing my emotions to flow and being who the fuck I am. Like allowing myself to be who the heck I am without caring what people think and without dimming my light and without toning myself down to make insecure people feel comfortable. That's when the game changed, because I got so used to dimming my light and toning myself down to appease other people and to make other people feel comfortable. And in turn, my own happiness suffered. My own self-worth diminished. And that's why I hated myself in those boudoir photos, because I did not like who I had become. So anywho, to kind of wrap that story up, I now look at my boudoir photos and I love them. And I'm looking at the picture of me in Sicily. And, I look back at that version of me and I'm like, she did the best she could with what she knew. And she was fighting a silent battle that she didn't even know she was fighting, and being a version of herself that she wasn't. I was not meant to be silenced. I wasn't meant to be toned down. I feel things deep. I have a big heart, and I am incredibly emotional and creative and bubbly and friendly. And if that intimidates people, leave. Bye. Because the minute I started stepping into my authenticity is when I started hosting retreats and doing healing circles and showing up on a video and a podcast like this that I never would have done before, because I would have been too paranoid about what people think. And I don't care. I don't care. If it's about you and you're listening to this, I don't care. Like, I really don't, because I have silenced myself for so long and dimmed my light for so long, and I'm done with that. And the minute I started being me again and creating from the heart and being present and taking care of myself and just being real, authentic Katie again for the first time in years, I was able to breathe. Finally, I was able to attract so many amazing people into my world, like soul friendships, soul aligned connections, everything. Like my entire being has shifted, and everything that I lost has been replaced by so many better things. And I'm so grateful that everything happened the way that it did now that I'm out of the thick of it. When I was in that like healing era, I didn't know if there's a way out. Like, yeah, like I said, that era was just a really hard time for me. After Italy, I was in a very weird headspace. But sometimes that's what a retreat will do to you. And that's what I'm learning, even as I'm hosting them myself. Now I've had that experience, and now I can relate to my clients a little bit better, where sometimes you go to these and retreats themselves are not going to heal you. Only you can heal yourself. Retreats are the light that you need to illuminate what is still lingering, what you need to work on, and what you have not worked on. And retreats will really highlight the things that you're still stuck on and still holding on to. And I remember telling all the girls at the end of my retreat, the one that I hosted, I remember telling them, like, the next couple days after the retreat are going to be insanely heavy. because we do like cord cutting ceremonies, we do release ceremonies. You're feeling so many emotions. You're bringing up a lot of traumatic memories and traumatic moments. And I think that was another thing too, out in Italy, doing all that at the retreat, like made me realize like a lot of things that I had been overlooking or ignoring about myself or what I wanted or what my heart was actually telling me that it wanted. And doing all those like journaling sessions with them and discussions with the girls, like it really opened up my eyes to a lot of things. And I told my girls, you know, like the next couple days are going to be heavy, and be kind to yourself, because as fun as retreats are, we laugh, we have a good time, they're meant to shake you to the core. The whole point of coming to a retreat is to go home and feel like your entire existence got shooken up. Like you want to leave a retreat feeling like you're in this state of like, what the fuck do I do now? Because that is your wake up call. Retreats are meant to be like a wake up call for where you need it. We are going to crack you open. We are going to get to the root cause of anything that you are holding on to, or anything that is preventing you from meeting your higher self, or the better version of yourself that you want to be. Anything that you are clinging to out of fear, any relationships that you're staying in because you think that's what happiness is supposed to be. Meanwhile, you're fucking miserable. So like we're gonna crack you open in the best way. And it's a lot to go through. And I promise you, with every part of my soul, having been a guest at a retreat and hosting a retreat, there's so much beauty in the breakdown. There is so much to discover about yourself when you allow yourself to crack open. And Italy did that for me. Italy was my moment of, wow, I'm not in as good of a place as I thought I was. And wow, I really don't like me. And I really don't like that version of myself, who I was at the time. And so I came home and my world got flipped upside down. And then I built myself back up. You know, my heart got broken and I rebuilt her. And I changed a lot of things in my life. I let go of a lot of things in my life. I healed a lot of parts of myself. I did things so far outside of my comfort zone. When I came home from that Italy retreat, I was doing things that I never would have thought I'd have the courage to do, and setting boundaries and doing so many things in my life. Like I can't even list them all. Like, there's too many to even list. It shook me to my core and made me reevaluate my entire life in the best way, in the hardest way. It's very hard. Obviously, you're grieving, you're going through a breakup, you're ending a relationship that you thought was the one, or you thought was going to be a long-term thing. Like you're going through so many emotions. But who I am now, a year later, I can tell you with complete certainty, as I look at my butt on the wall right now, I can tell you with complete certainty, I was meant to go to that retreat. There's a reason my partner at the time was unable to get the time off work and couldn't go travel with me that year. There's a reason Brina had 2 spots left for the retreat, and I saw that posting and I took the leap and I did it. There's a reason that I did the boudoir portion of it, even though I wasn't feeling ready, because it made me realize that I was convincing myself that I was happy and full of self-love, but I had none. I had none for myself. And that was sad. That was really sad. And now I look at my album and I love them. I love them so much, the pictures. I love me in them. I actually feel beautiful in them. I can look at them with a whole different perspective now, because I have so much compassion for that version of me. And now I can actually look at the pictures and see them for being beautiful photos and being beautifully edited and beautifully taken, and like they're beautiful photos. And I don't see like this weird version of myself anymore, because like I've let her go. I've released her and I've welcomed in this new version, and like the old Katie's like dead and gone. And she died on that drive to the airport in Catania, because that was my aha moment of, I'm not happy and I need to fix that. So we will kind of start wrapping it up here. This is getting to be quite the long episode, but I will leave you with this. When you've had a taste of true, genuine peace and happiness, you will realize exactly where that is lacking and how much of that is lacking in your day to day. And maybe you can't get out to Italy, and maybe Italy's not your happy place, but maybe coming to one of our retreats will do it for you, 2 hours away from home. A little less strenuous than traveling all the way to Italy. But do something that's going to light up your soul. And when you feel that happiness and that peace and that contentment, when you're away from certain things you're unsure of in your own life, you're going to get so much clarity. And that clarity will point you in the right direction of where you need to go and what you need to heal from and what needs to end. That's the big thing. If it's ran its course and you're not being yourself and if you're just not happy, you're doing yourself such a disservice by staying in that environment or staying in that relationship if it's not meant for you. And sometimes you need to go do a soul-shaking experience to realize that and pull yourself out of it. And if you're looking for an experience to do that, we would love to have you come to one of our retreats and let me crack you open in the best way and lead you to your own healing journey. Because I promise you, if you're feeling that pull to come, and there's something in your gut that was just like I had when I saw the posting about Italy. I had that gut pull and I'm like, I feel like I need to be there. That trip literally changed the trajectory of my entire life. And if you're feeling the pull, run with it and don't look back, because it will all make sense when you finally allow yourself to dig deep and feel and go through the motions and go through the experience and be present and release and journal and learn and get to know yourself, because you're going to get so much clarity at the end of it. It's going to feel really messy for a while. It's going to feel very chaotic the next couple days after you get home from the retreat. But I promise you, a couple weeks, months, even a year later, you're going to sit there and be like, wow, like that was the most life-changing, soul-shifting experience I could have ever gone on. And it really led me to the best version of myself. After many tears and a lot of hard work, I am here now. And I'd love to help you guys on your journey as well. So with that being said, we do have one bed left for our summer retreat. I know the retreat is pretty close. It's coming up literally like 2-3 weeks away. We're going to Wasaga Beach area from May 30th to June 2nd. And we are also going to a little towards Blue Mountain in November. That is like a cozy cabin retreat. We have a couple beds left for that retreat as well, but we're almost sold out for that one. But if you are in the Ontario area and you're able to make it out to one of our retreats this year, we would love to have you. If that is something you think you'd be interested in, I can link all of it in the show notes. So check it out. Put your application in. We would love to have you join us. And if you're worried about finances, we do have a buy now, pay later system available as well. So you can put it on Klarna, put it on Affirm, Afterpay, whatever, and pay it off and forget about it. And I don't think you have to pay interest for 6 months afterwards. So come join us for the summer retreat if you're feeling a pull to do it pretty soon. If not, and you want to wait it out a little bit, come to our fall retreat, because I can promise you, you're going to learn so much about yourself that weekend, things that you didn't know you were holding on to, and things you might never have found out about yourself. And I'm not trying to sound cliche right now and be like, oh yes, our retreats are like magical, powerful thing. Like, yes, they are, but like that's what a retreat does. Whether it's mine or anybody else's, like you go to a retreat and you're so open and raw and honest and vulnerable that you can't avoid the healing that comes after the fact. You're about to dive real deep into some real crazy depths of hell, but I promise you it's going to all be worth it. And you're going to shed so many layers and you're going to feel so free a year from now sitting here just like I am. So come join us at a retreat. We would love to have you. All the information will be linked in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would love for you to subscribe if you're watching this right now. And please, if you have been enjoying the show, leave me a little review on whatever platform you're listening to right now. Because reviews do really help and they go a long way when it comes to promotion of the podcast and the algorithm. So if you have been enjoying the podcast, please leave me a review. And the one final thing I want to leave you with is if you are listening to this podcast right now and you have resonated with anything that I've been saying, I'm super excited to start opening up the doors to welcoming some guests onto the show. I have a few planned already. I'm just waiting to record the episodes. So if you would love to be on the podcast, oh my God, let's make it happen. Let's do this. I have a request form on my podcast Instagram page that you can fill out if you would like to apply to be a guest on the show. And yeah, we would love to get you booked in. So stay tuned because we are going to have some guest episodes coming up very, very soon for you guys. For the time being, it's just me yapping until I can get my interviews recorded. But yeah, I'm very excited to welcome some of you onto the show. I think it's going to be amazing. We are going to have some good talks on here. And if you are in my Untamed Society Facebook group, my like VIP boudoir Facebook group, I have linked a post that allows you to send me anonymous questions. So if you are in the Facebook group and you have something that you want me to talk about on the show, or you have a story to share, or literally it can be anything at all, It's completely anonymous. I will not know that it's you. You don't have to put your email in or anything like that. You just send me a little inquiry and you let me know what you want me to talk about. And that is available in my VIP Facebook group. So if you are not in our Facebook group, come join. It's a women's only VIP Facebook group. And you can ask your anonymous questions in there. And then I might do like a little fun like bonus episode here and there with just like talking about random things, answering your questions, like going on a tangent, no theme to the show, just kind of like going with the flow. I think that'll be a really fun thing to do soon as well. So if you have questions, let me know. And if you want to be a guest on the show, please apply. Because you all know I'm big on journaling. You already know I love my journals, and I have my own journal, which is also linked in the show notes. But I want to leave you guys with a little journal prompt because this was kind of a heavy episode, and I want you guys to reflect on your own journeys and your own experiences too. So for the closing reflection, I would like you to ask yourself, where in your life have you felt the most alive? And what would it look like to chase that feeling instead of waiting for it to find you? So take a minute with that, really think about that. And if you need to journal it out, great. If you need to just think about it to yourself, that works too. But try to think of when you felt the most alive and how you can become that version of yourself without needing to be in that space again, or be in Italy, or whatever your happy moment was. How can you give yourself that feeling again without having to be there? Because it is doable, and you can feel that happiness again, even without being on the Sicilian beach in a bikini with the glow of the sun that I'm looking at right now. It is possible. So think about when you felt the most alive. What were you doing in that moment? Who were you with? What were you embodying? What energy did you have? Think about how you were in that moment, and that will give you a lot of clarity as to what is lacking in your current world. So I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I appreciate all of your support and all the sweet messages that I've been getting. I'm so glad that the show is resonating with you guys, and I can't wait to keep on giving you more episodes and get all the guests on the show. And now that I'm somewhat getting into a more professional setup here, you're kind of like watching me grow from the ground up, which is super exciting. So only up from here. This is not my final podcast area. It's just a temporary one for now, but we're en route to looking more professional here. But thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to another episode, and I will see you guys on the next one.